Colorado High School Activities Association baseball is on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. From St. Mary's High School, Morley Field in Colorado Springs, the Brush Beat Diggers face the Lamar Savages in the district playoffs. Good afternoon. I'm Kevin Fergus. I'll go through lineups for your Brush Beat Diggers. Where did that go? The Beat Digger starting lineup is brought to you by Equitable Savings and Loan. Mobile banking on the go makes banking easier for you when you're on the go. Check it out today. Carson Rule will lead off in center field. Braxton Shelton hitting second at shortstop. Nick Wellen will be on the mound pitching. Ben Garrett, third base, hitting in the 4 spot. Hunter Ledgate will be behind the plate, hitting 5th. Alejandro Maltos Garcia will be at second base, hitting 7th. Bryson Woldridge, first baseman, will be hitting 7th. Maltos Garcia hits 6th. Eli Garcilaso gets the start in right field and hits 8th. And Kyle Wellen will be the left fielder, and he will hit 9th. For Lamar has this as their lineup, pretty much the same as what it was when Brush played Lamar the first part of April. Carson Carrere will hit leadoff. Max Carrere hits second. Cameron Farmer hits third. Luis Delateori hits 4th. Buxton hits 5th. Javier Gonzalez will be in left field and hits 7th. Adrian Morales hits 7th. Dylan McTaggart hits 8th. And Jesus Gonzalez will be the catcher, and he'll be behind the plate. So the pitcher for Lamar is Max Carrere. The catcher will be Jesus Gonzalez. Pitcher for Brush will be Nick Wellen, and the battery behind the plate will be Hunter Ledgate. The umpires are meeting with the coaches right now, and they'll get this game started here shortly. Brush, I presume, since they're the higher seed, is the home team. So Brush will end up having defenders. In left field, Kyle Wellen in left, Carson Rule in center, Eli Garcilaso in right, Ben Garrett at third, Braxton Shelton shortstop, Hondo Maltos Garcia at second base, Bryson Woldridge at first, and as I said, the battery will be Nick Wellen on the bump and Hunter Ledgate behind the plate. Today, as Brush ends up playing Lamar, I mentioned that they played earlier this season. Brush beat Lamar 4-1 first part of April. Lamar continued to skid through at least April 12th, and I think their record was 2-11. Ever since then, they've won 7 of 8. Down the stretch, they started that off on April 18th, where they beat Lahana. And I think Lahana and Lamar is probably one of those games where you just throw the records out the window. And Lamar come out, competed with Lahana, was able to get a couple wins against them. And since then, they've been able to string together a good set of victories. So they do have momentum going into today's game. Earlier today at Morley Field, St. Mary's end up winning against the Academy 14-4 in 6 innings. And in that game, Josh White ended up having 6 RBIs. He'd been out earlier this season with a broken wrist, but he's back and seems like he's hitting the ball really well. We won't worry about St. Mary's at this point in time. We'll take care of what's up for Brush, and that would be the Lamar Savages. Morley Field is the 3A field of the year. And they're coached by Bill Percy. He's the head coach for St. Mary's from 2007 until president, and he's the president of the Colorado Dugout Club. So that gives a little bit of background about St. Mary's and Morley Field here at St. Mary's High School. Umpires are still going over ground rules with the coaches, and they'll finish that up here real quick, and then they'll go through starting lineups. Lamar on the season, 9-12. They're 1-5 away from their home field. They're 2-4 on neutral fields. And as I mentioned, they started 2-11, but they finished up 7-1 since April 8th. They were 6-2 in the Tri-Peaks League, and they were tied for third. Jason Vania is the head coach, and Lamar had a quality team that last year in 2018 they were at the state Final Four. They had a very good pitcher in the name of Dalton Chandler, and he's gone on in order to play some college ball. For Brush, they come into the game at 12-9. They were 5-4 in the league, which is fourth in the Patriot League. And the first three teams in the Patriot League were University, Eaton, and Sterling. Brush was fourth, Res Christian was fifth. In the Patriot League, there were 9 out of the 10 teams that ended up making the state playoffs, which is almost unheard of. It's one of those things that Liberty Common did not, but they were just on the outside looking in, and so Liberty Common did not. As I look at everything in regard to Brush this season, they played strength of schedule. It was number 2 in the state 3A. I was running through my mind as to who they've played that made playoffs, and it's not a matter of who they've played. Everybody they played has made the playoffs except for Liberty Common. That's the only team out of the 21-game schedule that Brush has played to this date that did not make the state playoffs. So Brush, number 2, strength of schedule. Eaton was number 1, strength of schedule. So I think what we'll do here, they're just going through lineups. So we'll just take a break, and we'll be back with first pitch. You're listening to Beat Diggers Baseball on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. We're back to Morley Field at St. Mary's High School. Morley Field is a nice-looking field, 3A Field of the Year. We'll have the opening pitch here shortly. They're just finishing up the lineups for the Lamar Savages and the Brush Beat Diggers. I've already gone through that for both teams, and we'll lay that out as we get going. Score update. I understand that University beat Middle Park 3-2 in the first round of their playoffs that's being held at their school at University in Greeley. So University at least will be playing this afternoon. And St. Mary's, hometown team right here, Colorado Springs, will be playing the afternoon game. Once this game is completed, we'll have about a half an hour, and then that game will take place. So one more on the lineup as everybody takes their position. And they're going to go with the national anthem. So we'll stand and take our hats off and honor our country with the playing of the national anthem. Okay, national anthem is complete. So Brush Beet Diggers take the field, and they are on the field with their gray pants, with their gold tops, with the maroon accents. They're wearing their maroon hats with letter B. And Lamar will come to the plate in the top of the first inning. They've got their gray uniforms with orange and black accents. And Carson Carrere will be coming to the plate, freshman for Lamar. He'll be leading off. Carson Carrere has hit .412 on the season, .494 on base percentage. And once he gets on base, he's a threat to steal. He's 13 stolen bases on the season. So Carson Carrere has been effective for the Lamar Savages. And following him up will be his brother, Max Carrere. And Max Carrere will be on the mound today. And we'll get to his stats when he comes to the plate. Nick Wellen is going to be on the mound for Brush Beet Diggers. Nick comes into the game with a 3.37 ERA, a 2-1 record. He's thrown 27 innings and given up 16 base on balls and 23 strikeouts over those 27 innings. The wind on the field today, it kicked up towards the end of the last game as we were playing pretty much straight out center field, and it's died down somewhat, but I'm sure the wind is still blowing decent. Old Glory is standing out and waving in the wind. It's not standing out straight. Earlier before the first pitch, it was blowing out strong to right field, so I think we're going to have variable wind today. The opening pitch is brought to you by Buildings by Design. When it comes to experience, Buildings by Design is the best in the business. Quality, commitment, and experience make Buildings by Design the only choice when it comes to your next project. The first pitch from Nick Wellen to Hunter Ludgate is up and out of the zone. Ball one. Next pitch from Nick is outside for ball two. So Nick falls behind. 2 balls, no strikes to the left-handed hitting Carson Carrere. Pitch from Wellen. A strike on the inside corner. Carrere steps out and looks at his bat, makes sure that it's lined up straight, and gets back in the box, and the next pitch from Nick Wellen is upstairs, ball 3. 3 balls and a strike to Carrere. Wellen, sure his nerves are going 100 miles an hour, but he just needs to settle in and make sure that he throws strikes and gets ahead of the hitters. Carrere fouls that pitch back and to the left. Full count to the freshman. A pitch from Wellen. Upstairs, ball 4. Carson Carrere takes first on the base on ball. As I mentioned, threat in order to steal. 13 stolen bases on the season. Max Carrere, number 18, senior, comes to the plate for Jason Dania's Lamar Savages. Max Carrere hitting .386 on the season, .426 on base percentage. Carson Carrere leads off from first. Wellen with the pitch. Max Carrere squares around but pulls back. Ball 1. Wellen looking in for the sign. Looks over at first. Stretch and over to first base. Bryson Wooldridge, first baseman for Brush. But Carson Carrere is back in at first. Wellen from the stretch. The offering. Max Carrere hits the ball down the left field line, foul, and Kyle Wellen gives chase and a dive, but the ball just escapes his glove by just a few feet as the ball was close to the fence, but I think Kyle Wellen was probably 2 or 3 feet away from being able to catch that. So 1 ball and a strike. Pitch from Wellen. Upstairs. Ball 2. Wellen looking in. Brings the pitch. Carson Carrere takes off to second, and he's safe with a stolen base at second. The pitch was a ball. Ludgate's throw was strong, came in head high, and Braxton Shelton had to grab it and pull the ball down in order to apply the tag, but Carson Carrere was there. Pitch from Wellen to Cameron Farmer. To Max Carrere was a ball. Max Carrere hits the ball up the middle and through the infield, and Carson Rule comes up with the ball and throws in. Bryson Wooldridge cuts it off, so Max Carrere has a single up the middle, and we have a courtesy runner for Max. Runners at first and third, top of the first inning. The 2 Carrere brothers are first and third. Pitch upstairs and out at second base as Max Carrere tries to steal, so he's cut down on the base paths. Carson Carrere remains at third base. Ball 1 and no strikes to Cameron Farmer. Pitch upstairs to Cameron Farmer. Cameron Farmer hitting .288 on the season, .329 on base percentage, 16 RBIs. Wellen with the pitch, curveball, strike. 2 balls, 1 strike to the number 3 hitter, Cameron Farmer, who wears number 22 on his back. 1 out in the inning. Ludgate threw out Carrere, and Farmer fouls that pitch back to the screen. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Wellen starting out the day, first 15 pitches, 9 balls, 6 strikes. 2-2 count, runner at third. Wellen with the offering. Curveball, popped up, infield. Maltos Garcia takes control at second base, comes over and gets the out on the pop out. Two outs in the inning, and that brings up Luis Delatiori, sophomore, hitting .340 on the season, .484 on base percentage. Wellen with a pitch, and Delatiori fouls the ball back to the screen. Delatiori wearing number 24. The pitch from Wellen. Swings through the pitch. Strike 2. Wellen really brought that pitch, put a little extra on it. No balls, 2 strikes to Delatiori. Pitch from Wellen. Upstairs. Change the eye level for Delatorre. Wellen looks in, gets a sign, 2 outs, runner at third, the pitch, and popped up to center field. Carson Rule comes in and makes the out on the inning. The inning recap: Lamar Savages, no runs, 1 hit, no errors. There was 1 runner left on base. After 1/2 inning of play, Lamar 0 and Brush coming to the plate. You're listening to Brush Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. We go to the bottom of the first inning where the Lamar Savages hit in the top of the first inning, and they had a runner but they did not score, and Brush comes to the plate with the top of the order, and that'd be Carson Rule. Carson Rule, the senior for Brush Beat Diggers, hitting .254 on the season, .405 on base percentage. Carson comes to the plate with some playoff experience under his belt. And Max Carrere is the pitcher for the Lamar Savages. Carrere has a .305 earned run average. They don't have complete stats in regard to 1 loss as to how he's doing in that regard. 43 innings on the season, and the first pitch from Max Carrere to Carson Rule, a strike. Outer third of the plate. Out of those 43 and 2/3 innings, Max Carrere has walked 17 and struck out 56. Pitch from Carrere, a ball outside. Right now it's beautiful. The wind's mostly died down. Not a blue sky, but there's gray in the sky. The next pitch to Carson Rule, a strike at the knees. Carrere from the stretch with no runners on base. You can do that. And throws the next pitch outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Rule. It'd be good for Brush to be able to get started well by scoring runs here in the first inning. Rule checks a swing, safe, did not swing through the pitch. Full count to Carson Rule. Max Carrere peers in, gets a sign, the pitch. Curveball, strike 3, looking to the leadoff hitter for Brush Beat Diggers. Brings up Braxton Shelton. Braxton Shelton hitting .492 on the season, .584 on base percentage. Freshman for Brush Beat Diggers, playing shortstop today. It's Nick Wellens on the mound, pitching. Carrere, the offering. Curveball, strike, outside corner of the plate. Braxton Shelton was 4th in hitting in the Patriot League on the season. The pitch from Carrere, upstairs, ball 1. Braxton Shelton has a good approach when he comes to the plate. He knows what he's fixated on doing. Hit the ball square, put the ball in play, fouls it off at the plate towards the third base coach's box. Catcher comes over, picks it up, gets it back to his pitcher. Jesus Gonzalez, the catcher behind the plate. Max Carrere on the mound. Javier Gonzalez in left. Addison Morales, the senior, in center. And Blake Buxton, sophomore, in right. The pitch from Carrere. Strike. Strike 3. 2 caught lookings. This Brush is struck out. First 2 batters of the day. Brings up to the plate Nick Wellen, pitcher for Brush Beat Diggers today. Nick's hitting .426, .468 on base percentage. Curveball from Carrere, a strike. Seems like Carrere is starting these hitters off with a little bender just to give them something to look at. Pitch from Carrere, outside. Ball 1. 1 ball and a strike to the number 3 hitter for your Brush Beet Diggers, Nick Wellen. Carrere with the offering. Curveball. Wellen pops the ball up. Third baseman's coming over towards the dugout, foul ground, and hauls it in for the third out for your Brush Beet Diggers in the bottom half of the first inning. No runs, no hits, no Lamar errors, nobody left on base. One complete inning. Lamar 0, Brush 0. You're listening to 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. To the top of the second inning for Lamar Savages, Blake Buxton will be leading off for the Savages. Nick Wellen on the mound, 20 pitches the first inning, 10 balls, 10 strikes. First pitch to Buxton, a ball upstairs. Buxton, a sophomore, hitting .298 on the season, .365 on base percentage. Pitch from Wellen, curveball, strike, right at the knees. Ludgate squared that up, framed it nicely for the umpire to be able to see that. The pitch from Wellen, upstairs and in. 2 balls and a strike to Buxton. Wellen from the full windup. The offering. Upstairs, ball 3. Three balls and a strike to Buxton. The pitch. Swung through the pitch. Strike 2. Full count. Top of the second inning, no score. Morley Field at St. Mary's High School. Wellen with the pitch, and Buxton swings through the pitch for strikeout swinging. First strikeout for Nick Wellen on the day. Brings up Javier Gonzalez from the left side. He'll be hitting from the left side. Hits .286 on the season. First pitch, he fouls off towards the Lamar dugout. Gets everyone over there scattering. Wellen gets the ball, ready to fire the pitch. Upstairs, ball 1. Pitch from Wellen. Curveball, grounded out to second base. Maltos Garcia over to first base to Wooldridge for the second out in the inning. And that'll bring up Addison Morales. Addison Morales on the season hitting .250, senior for the Lamar Savages. Hits .250, .316 on base percentage. First pitch from Wellen to Morales, a strike on the outside corner of the plate. Pitch from Wellen. Hits number 31, Morales, in the back. So Morales takes first base in the top of the second inning. Bring up number 20, Dylan McTaggart. Dylan McTaggart, Jr., hitting .179, squares around. And first pitch from Wellen, outside, ball. McTaggart hitting .179. .281 on base percentage. Wellen looking in. Strike. To McTaggart. 1 ball, 1 strike. Addison Morales leads off from first base. 2 outs in the inning. Wellen with a pitch. And the runner goes to second and thrown out at second by Ludgate. So for Lamar in the top half of the second inning, no runs, no hits, no Brush Beet Digger errors. There were Nobody left on base. Javier Gonzalez, Dylan McTaggart will come to the plate in the top of the second inning, but no score. Brush Beat Diggers 0, Lamar Savages 0. You're listening to 1010 KSIR on KSIR.com. From Morley Field in Colorado Springs, your Brush Beat Diggers are facing the Lamar Savages. Brush comes to the plate in the bottom of the second inning. No score on the board. Ben Garrett, number 4 hitter for the Beat Diggers, comes to the plate. Number 15 on his back. Garrett hitting .288 on the season, .405 on base percentage. Pitch from Max Carrere to Garrett. Curveball, strike. I think I could have predicted that. We'll see if Brush changes their approach in regard to Max Carrere as he throws that first pitch curveball. Curveball to Garrett, popped up and deep to left center field, and the center fielder, Addison Morales, goes to the warning track in order to haul that in for the first out. Garrett hit the ball hard, but Morales was up to the challenge in order to haul that in for the out. 320 down the left field line, 301 down the right field line, 355 left center, 340 right center, and 360 straightaway center. Up to the plate is Hunter Ludgate. Ludgate, first pitch, swinging, hits the ball to the third baseman. Third baseman Cameron Farmer gets it over to Dylan McTaggart at first for out number 2. And that'll bring to the plate Alejandro Maltos Garcia. Maltos Garcia on the season, .218 average, .333 on base percentage. Pitch from Carrere. Curveball outside, was not a strike. Maltos Garcia, freshman for the Beat Diggers, playing second base today. Pitch from Carrere, a ball. 2 balls, no strikes. Maltos Garcia has played all over, second base, shortstop, third base. He's played in left field. He's played in center field. I don't think he's played in right. I don't think he's been at first base, and he's not been behind the plate. Third pitch to Maltos Garcia, a ball. 3-0 to the freshman. The pitch from Carrere. Upstairs, ball 4. 4-pitch walk to Maltos Garcia. Brings to the plate Bryson Woldridge, senior for your Brush Beat Diggers. 2 outs, bottom of the second inning. Runner at first. Maltos Garcia leads off. Has a good lead at first. Carrere from the stretch and does a courtesy throw over to first base just to let Maltos Garcia know that he's watching him. Carrere looks in to his catcher Jesus Gonzalez for the sign, the pitch, and Woldridge fouls the ball. 2-hopper to the third baseman, but in foul ground. Farmer grabs the ball, gets it back to his pitcher, Carrere. Carrere's 21 pitches, 12 strikes, 9 balls at this point in the game. Woldridge, see if he can get good wood on this. Swings at a pitch up and out of the strike zone. He's down in the count. No balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs. Maltos Garcia leads off from first. And Carrere goes over to first. Carrere gets the ball and rubs it up, ready to bring the pitch. He rocks and fires and brings it. Woldridge hits the ball weakly out to third base. Farmer picks it up, throws over to first base, and he's out at first. So for your Brush Beat Diggers, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on, 1 runner left on base. After 2 complete innings, Brush Beat Diggers 0, Lamar Savages 0. You're listening to 1010 KSIR on KSIR.com. I'm Kevin Fergus, back with Brush Beat Digger Baseball. The first pitch from Nick Wellen, lined out from Dylan McTaggart to right center field. And he's going to come in with a stand-up double. Nice opposite field hitting with McTaggart. McTaggart was at the plate when Addison Morales was thrown out at second in the top of the second inning. And McTaggart used that experience of seeing the pitcher to hit the first ball out to right center field for a double. First pitch, a strike to Jesus Gonzalez, number 9 hitter. Wellen up in the count, no balls, 2 strikes. Pitch, grounded foul down the third base line, third base coach's box. Garrett picks the ball up, gets it back to Wellen. Wellen's ahead in the count, no balls, 2 strikes. McTaggart leading off from second base. Not too much of a lead. Umpire calls time as the Jesus Gonzalez asks for time and steps out. Jason Vania, third base coach's box, gives his encouragement. Pitch from Wellen to the plate and fouled back to the screen. Jesus Gonzalez stays alive. It's more of a defensive swing just to be able to just hopefully stay alive in that regard. Pitch from Wellen and a check swing, and umpire calls that a strike out swinging. 1 out in the inning. Wellen has 2 strikeouts through the first 9 hitters. Brings up to the plate the left-handed hitting Carson Carrere, who walked his first time at the plate. McTaggart leads off from second. Pitch from Wellen. Inside. Ball 1. Old Glory's standing out straight. Not hard wind, but just enough in order to let us get a good view of the flag in center field. Pitch from Wellen up and out of the zone. 2 balls, no strikes to Carson Carrere, the younger brother of the Carrere brothers for the Lamar Savages. Pitch from Wellen. Curveball upstairs. Ball 3. Wellen, 41 pitches, 22 strikes. Pitch from Wellen. Strike. 3 balls and a strike to Carson Carrere. Small stature. I'm sure he's quick. Pitch from Wellen. Outside and up. Ball 4. So Carson Carrere gets his second base on ball for the day. Takes first base. 1 out. Runners at first and second. Carson Carrere at first. Dylan McTaggart at second. Max Carrere hit a single up the middle his last time up. So officially 1 for 1 on the day. The pitch from Wellen. A strike. Chest high. See if Brush can turn a double play, get out of this inning, get back, get the sticks going. Pitch from Wellen. And Max Carrere hits that ball foul down the left field line. Line drive. Squared up on the ball, just a little bit out in front. 1 out. Runners at first and second. Max Carrere, the number 2 hitter in the lineup. See if Wellen gives him something else to look at right here. The pitch from Wellen. upstairs. Changes eye level. See what Welland comes back with. Runners at first and second, one out. The offering from Welland. Curveball, and Max Carrere fouls that over by the third base dugout and out of play. Ben Garrett gave chase, but just ran out of real estate. First and second, one out. Counts 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Max Carrere hits the ball. One hopper down the third base coach's box. Jason Vania stabs at it, but doesn't haul it in. Garrett grabs the ball, gets it back to his pitcher. Pitch from Welland. Check swing, strike 3. First base is occupied. Welland's had 2 of the check swing strikeouts this inning. Strikeout number 3 for Welland. Comes to the plate, Cameron Farmer. Farmer flew out to Maltos Garcia, his first time up. First pitch to Farmer, a ball up and in. Welland offering and fouled back by Farmer. 1 ball, 1 strike. Runners at first and second for the Lamar Savages here in the top of the 3rd inning. Nick Welland pitching for Brush Beat Diggers, throwing to his battery mate, Hunter Ludgate, who's thrown out 2 runners, 1 in the first, 1 in the second. Pitch from Welland, inside, ball. Like Welland changed the speed on that pitch just to give the batter something else to look at. Pitch from Welland, curveball, and lined out to left field, and Vania is throwing the runner into third and waves him on to home. McTaggart scores on the single by Farmer. So Lamar scores a run. In the top of the 3rd inning. So Farmer gets the RBI, and Lamar continues to have runners on bases, first and second occupied. Comes to the plate, Luis De La Torre. He flew out to center field, his first time up. Pitch from Welland, hit hard out to left field. Kyle Welland going back to the fence, takes 1 hop off the fence, and runners at first and second come around to score, and Lamar takes a 3-0 lead. De La Torre has a double with 2 RBIs in order to give Lamar the lead in the top of the 3rd inning. Coach Odell comes out and talks to Nick Welland, his pitcher. We'll keep it right here. This will be quick. But we've got a runner at second base, and Luis De La Torre, but Lamar has 3 runs on the board. Coming to the plate is Blake Buxton. Coach Odell come out, said his piece. He's back to the dugout. Welland, 54 pitches on the day, 31 strikes. Sunshine is out here at Morley Field in Colorado Springs. Welland with a pitch, curveball, outside. Pitch from Wellen, and he goes back to second base. Maltos Garcia, pickoff, in order to keep De La Torre close to the bag. Wellen with the offering to the plate. Upstairs, ball. 2 balls, no strikes to Blake Buxton. Struck out his first time up. Nick Wellen has 3 strikeouts on the day, 2 in this inning. Pitch from Wellen to Ludgate, a ball, low. 3 balls, no strikes. Nick doesn't want to venture there, I don't think. Giving these guys base on balls, and ball 4 from Wellen to Blake Buxton. It brings up Javier Gonzalez. He grounded out to second base, his last at bat. Runners at second and third, 2 outs. Lamar scored 3 runs in the top of the third inning on 3 hits to this point. Pitch from Wellen, and just a soft ball that's hit down the left field line and just goes foul by less than a foot. Garrett gave chase, Shelton gave chase, Kyle Wellen gave chase. But it falls to the ground, foul, strike 1. Javier Gonzalez swings from the left side, a pitch from Wellen, upstairs, and a ball. Lamar's got to feel pretty good getting that lead here in the top of the third inning. The pitch from Wellen, and popped up, and Shelton is underneath it and squeezes the ball into his glove for the third out. So for Lamar, they scored 3 runs on 3 hits. They leave 1 runner on base. There were no Brush Beat Digger errors. So after 2.5 innings of play, Lamar Savage's 3, Brush Beat Digger 0. You're listening to Brush Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. We're going to the bottom of the third inning. Brush Beat Diggers looking for their first base hit on the day. We have a change. Ivan Cardenas comes to the plate for Brush in the bottom of the third inning, hitting for Eli Garcilaso. Ivan Cardenas will also be playing in right field. Cardenas is hitting .292 on the season. Second pitch to Cardenas, a ball. 2 balls, no strikes. First pitch was up and in. Second pitch was low and outside. Pitch from Max Carrere to Cardenas. Curveball in the dirt, goes to the screen. Carrere has 2 strikeouts, and he's walked 1 at this point. Jason Vania, coach for Lamar Savages, comes out to talk to Max Carrere with the count 3 balls, no strikes to Ivan Cardenas, freshman for the Brush Beat Diggers. I'm sure Vania will make this short and sweet. It's only him, Max Carrere, his pitcher, and Jesus Gonzalez, catcher. Gonzalez comes back to get behind the dish. Cardenas steps in, digs in with his back foot. Carrere towing the rubber. 3 balls, no strikes to Ivan Cardenas. Pitch from Carrere. A strike at the knees. At this point, Brush has not been able to generate any offense. They've got 1 base on ball, and that's it. The pitch from Carrere, swung through by Ivan Cardenas. Full count. with a short field and right field. The 3-0-1 down the line. Right fielder's playing in. Curveball. Strike 3 on the outside corner of the plate, and the ball gets past the catcher, and Cardenas runs through first, and Jesus Gonzalez throws the ball past his first baseman, so Cardenas gets on to first base, struck out, but able to get to first. Brings to the plate Kyle Wellen. Kyle Wellen on the season hitting .357 for the Brush Beat Diggers. Cardenas leads off from first. First pitch to Kyle Wellen, a ball. Carrera goes over to first base. And now the umpire called a balk against Carrera. Umpire goes and talks to Jason Vania at third base just to tell him exactly what he had and why Cardenas is going to second base. Cardenas at second. Kyle Wellen, the freshman, hitting against Max Carrera. Runner at second. Pitch to Wellen, a ball. Cardenas leads off from second base. Carrera 31 pitches on the day, 17 strikes. Counts 2 balls, no strikes to Wellen. Ball outside. Three balls, no strikes to the number 9 hitter for your Brush Beat Diggers. Cardenas leads off from second. The pitch from Carrera outside, ball 4. So here Brush has something going with the first 2 hitters in the bottom of the third inning. Numbers 8 and number 9, they both walk, and so that brings up the top of the order Carson Rule, and Carson Rule struck out his first time up. Brush still looking for their first base hit on the day. Max Carrera, the pitch, and the ball's thrown to the screen. Wild pitch. The runners move up to second and third. Nobody out. Brush has something going here on the bottom of the third inning. Runners at second and third. Top of the order at the lineup. And the ball gets underneath the catcher. And Ivan Cardenas comes in and slides safely for the first run of the day. That's a pass ball on the catcher. The first Brush run of the game is brought to you by Western Engineering Consultants, engineering and consulting services for all of your projects. Strong commitment to their clients' needs set them apart. Get your project started the right way with Western Engineering Consultants. The pitch from Carrera is a ball. Looks like Carrera has basically lost it here in the bottom of the third inning. 3 balls, no strikes to Carson Rule. He's thrown a couple wild pitches and a pass ball. And the runners have moved up, and Brush scored their first run of the game, and Carson Rule walks. Jason Vania, I'm sure, is ready to pull his hair out. Looks like number 27 is going to be going down to the bullpen in order to get loose for the Lamar Savages. 27 is Tyler McTaggart. Brings to the plate Braxton Shelton, pitch from Carrere, upstairs, ball, nothing going on. Looked like, I think the catcher was almost a pitch out, but it wasn't a pitch out. It was upstairs, but he was coming up out of his crouch pretty quick. If Shelton would have swung, I think he would have got catcher's interference. Runner goes on the play, and the throw from Jesus Gonzalez down to third base, and everybody is safe. So defensive indifference to Carson Rule. Carson Rule's at second. Braxton Shelton, 2 balls, no strikes. Shelton looks at the third pitch from Max Carrere, and Max Carrere cannot find the strike zone right now. 3 balls, no strikes to Braxton Shelton. Runners at second and third, nobody out for Brush Beat Diggers. Curveball upstairs and out of the zone, ball 4. So Shelton walks on 4 pitches. Coach Jason Vania is going to have to do something and do something quick. He's already had a mound visit with Max Carrere this inning. McTaggart throwing in the pin, a lefty down there. Max Carrere looks in from the sign from his battery mate Gonzalez, the pitch. Ball outside. Nick Wellen comes to the plate. He popped out his first time up in foul ground to the third baseman. Pitch from Carrere up and out of the zone, and he cannot find the strike zone right now. Even if we put a big bullseye on the back of a cow, I don't think he'd be able to hit it. 2 balls, no strikes to Nick Wellen. Bases are loaded. Kyle Wellen at third, Rule at second, Shelton at first. Pitch from Carrere, a strike. Sometimes you can find those. Throw long enough, hard enough, or soft enough. The pitch from Carrere, upstairs, ball. 3 balls and a strike to the number 3 hitter for your Brush Beat Diggers. Brush scored a run here in the bottom of the third inning after Lamar scored 3 in the top of the third inning. Pitch from Carrere, ball 4. Brush is just being patient. Brush still does not have a hit, but they've got 2 runs. Seems that that's what Brush has been doing lately. They've been opportunistic. Now they'll probably hit the ball, and Lamar will make an error, and Brush will still not have a hit, but maybe we'd get another run in. Ben Garrett to the plate. Bases are juiced. Carrere, 46 pitches. That one's a strike. 47 pitches, 28 balls, 19 strikes from Max Carrere. See if the number 4 hitter for the Beat Diggers can square up on a ball, put it in play. And Carrere backs off from the mound. The ball comes out of his glove. If he was still in contact with the rubber, that should have been a balk, but umpire did not rule it that way. Carrere guiding the ball, strike to Ben Garrett. Finally, he's found his zone, but I think he's slowed things down quite a bit. See if Brush can put up a bigger crooked number than what they have right now. The score is 3-2. Garrett strikes out on the inside pitch on the check swing. First out in the inning. Carrere has struck out 3 on the day, brings to the plate Hunter Ludgate. Ludgate grounded out to third base in the second inning. Pitch from Carrere, outside, ball 1. Carrere looks into his catcher. Pitch upstairs, ball 2. Runners on the bases, loaded. Ludgate at the plate. This would be a great time to be able to hit a gapper, Hunter. And the pitch from Carrere, a curveball strike. Ludgate started to square around, and first and third baseman come charging in. Infield for Lamar, they're playing at double play depth up the middle, and Ludgate fouls the ball to the third base coach's box. Ludgate, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. As long as we don't hit into a double play, see if we can make something happen, bring the score even here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Carrere with the offering, and upstairs, ball 3, full count. This is always fun. Full count, bases loaded, but 1 out. You don't want to give anything up, because if it's a strikeout, all the catcher has to do is stand there and tag the runner out coming from third. So I don't anticipate them moving on the pitch, but Ludgate fouls that ball to the third base coach's box. Stays alive. It was a curveball from Max Carrere. See if Ludgate can put the ball in play on a 3-2 pitch. Carrere taking his time from the stretch. The pitch, curveball outside. Brush is drawn even. Three to 3 is the score in the bottom of the 3rd inning. So Ludgate at first, Nick Wellen at second, Braxton Shelton at third. Hondo Maltos Garcia comes to the plate, and Hondo walked his last time up. Carrere has walked 7, and we're not even out of the 3rd inning. Carrere with a pitch upstairs. Boy, he's really guiding that ball right now. Carrere has struck out 3 but walked 7. Brush is still looking for a base hit. See if Maltos Garcia is up to the challenge. The pitch, and Maltos Garcia fouls it off at the plate. Pitch from Carrere to the plate. Maltos Garcia hits the ball to straightaway center field. We're tagging at second, we're tagging at third, and the throw does not come to the plate. So Brush scores the 4th run of the inning on the sacrifice fly by Maltos Garcia. Hit the ball hard, line drive, straight center field. And we're able to get the run in at second and third. Runner at second moves up to third. Runner at third scores. Have runners at first and second. Ludgate at first. Wellen at third. Pitch to Bryson Wooldridge. Bryson Wooldridge grounded out to the third baseman, his first time up. Third baseman. 2 outs. Brush has scored 4 runs in the bottom of the 3rd inning, and we almost had a pickoff. Guess that's not Ludgate over there. That's Caden Schwent as a courtesy runner, and he first broke towards second on the pickoff move by Carrere, but did get his hand back to the bag. Carrere with a pitch, Schwent with the steal of second base. Pitch to Wooldridge was a ball. Runners at second and third for Brush with 2 outs, and we've got a balk. Balk brings Nick Wellen in. Pitch to Woldridge, a ball low. 3 balls, no strikes to Woldridge. Runner at third. Strike to Woldridge. 3 balls and a strike to Bryson Woldridge. Ludgate at third. 2 outs. Pitch from Carrere. Upstairs, ball 4. Woldridge walks. It's walk number 8 for Max Carrere. Tyler McTaggart continues to warm up in the bullpen down the third baseline. Coach Vania continues to stay with his senior Max Carrere on the mound. Carrere, 65 pitches, 38 balls, 27 strikes. I'm sure that's not what he set out to do. The design is to throw strikes, get ahead of hitters. Runner at first, Woldridge. Runner at third, Schwint. Ball outside. Yvonne Cardenas comes to the plate for the second time this inning. Pitch from Carrere, and he bunts, and it is foul. Back to the screen. Woldridge faked going to from first base to second base. Got about 3 steps and saw what Cardenas was doing. Wanted to make sure that ball got down, but there are 2 out. Woldridge leads off from first and takes off, and the pitch to Cardenas, a ball. Defensive indifference on that as Woldridge takes second base. Brush has scored 5 runs in the bottom of the third inning. Yvonne Cardenas just gets hit by the pitcher. So Cardenas takes first on the hit by pitch, loading the bases again for the number 9 hitter, Kyle Wellen. So 8 base on balls, 1 hit by pitch. Pitch from Carrere, a strike, curveball. That's what he was doing in the first and the second inning, was he was throwing first pitch, curveball, strike every single hitter, 5 of the 6 hitters that came to the plate. The pitch from Carrere, curveball, strike. Wellen wears number 13 on his back. Bases are loaded again for your Brush Beat Diggers. They've scored 5. Wellen stays alive, hits the ball up and over the second baseman into the outfield, and we've got a runner that scored from third and a runner that scores from second, and the ball was just thrown by the first baseman away past the third baseman, and Cardenas comes in to score. Wellen goes to second on that, so Brush scores 3 runs on the base hit by Kyle Wellen. And Vania comes out to talk to his pitcher. And we're going to have a pitching change. So you're listening to Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Brush Beat Diggers 8. Lamar Savages 3. We'll take 1 minute. We're back to Morley Field at St. Mary's High School in Colorado Springs. Brush has put 8 runs on the board in the bottom of the third inning, and Kyle Wellen just drove in 2 of those runs, and then the third run came in on the throwing error by the first baseman, and Kyle Wellen stands at second, and we have a pitching change for Lamar. Jason Vania stayed with his senior, Max Carrere, through quite a bit in that, and actually Brush was able to take advantage of the base on balls that Max Carrere threw. 8 base on balls, 1 hit by pitch. The pitcher for Lamar Savages is Tyler McTaggart. Tyler McTaggart comes to the mound, a left-handed pitcher with a 15.40 ERA. He's only thrown 5 innings, 5 base on balls, 4 strikeouts, but we'll see what McTaggart can do with the Brush Beat Diggers. Tyler McTaggart, pitcher, runner at second, 2 outs, and McTaggart's first pitch to the top of the order, Carson Rule, a ball. See if Carson Rule can get good bat on the ball, have a good approach, hit the ball up the middle. Wouldn't that be great? Score another run here. Hits the ball down the third baseline, comes off the third baseman and off his foot, and pops up, and the shortstop grabs it, and Kyle Wellen is safe at third, but we had an error on the play by the third baseman. Yeah, it just seemed like he was a little bit lazy on that, I think, Bill. Yep. He just didn't bend over. He didn't move well. So Rule on at first. Braxton Shelton the batter, and Braxton Shelton swings through the first pitch, strike 1. Wellen at third. Rule at first. Brush has scored 8 runs in the bottom of the third inning. McTaggart with the pitch, and Shelton fouls that off to the batter's circle. Nick Wellen picks the ball up and throws back to McTaggart. McTaggart, a freshman. When Brush played them early in April, he was not on the roster. Rule leads off from first. The pitch, ball. Rule takes second on the defensive indifference. Pitch from McTaggart. Runners at second and third, 2 outs. And Shelton hits the ball over Farmer at third base, and the runner comes in and scores in the form of Kyle Wellen. Carson Rule rounds third as Coach Odell sends him home, and Braxton Shelton is on at second base on the throw, so he had a single to left in order to score the 2 runs. First pitch to Nick Wellen, a strike. And Wellen fouls that off to the first base box. Wellen's down in the count, no balls, 2 strikes. Pitch from McTaggart, slowly grounded to the shortstop, throws over to first base, and it's not fielded cleanly by the first baseman, and Braxton Shelton comes in to score on the error by the shortstop. So Brush scores another run. brings to the plate Ben Garrett. And Wellen on the first pitch takes off and goes to second base. Wellen safe at second on the stolen base. Garrett swings. No, Garrett did not swing. Ball to Garrett. Brush has 11 runs on the board. In the bottom of the third inning, McTaggart with a pitch. And Garrett hits the ball down left field line, and that's going to fall fair for a safe single, and Wellen comes in and scores. Garrett with a single. Brings to the plate Hunter Ludgate. Pitch from McTaggart to Ludgate. Fouled back to the screen. McTaggart around the strike zone. That's his 13th pitch, and he has 9 strikes. Throws the pitch to the plate, and it's a ball, and Ben Garrett steals second base. So Garrett on at second. Brush with a 12-3 lead in the bottom of the third inning. McTaggart with a pitch, a ball. Umpire's getting tired back there. He probably needs to go grab a drink of water to refresh. Lamar has another pitcher in the bullpen warming up. McTaggart with a pitch upstairs. 3 balls and a strike to Ludgate. McTaggart looks in, brings the pitch, and Ludgate fouls that up and out of play. I parked over there. I think my pickup should be safe. There's quite a distance between the field and where there's some parking, so I think I'm okay. McTaggart with a pitch. Upstairs, ball 4 to Ludgate. Ludgate takes first base, and we'll get a courtesy runner at first base. So Schwint comes in order to run for Ludgate, the catcher. Garrett at second base. Runners at first and second. Maltos Garcia comes to the plate, and he fouls the first pitch to the screen. Brush with 12 runs in the bottom of the inning. They've only had 3 hits. But at least they broke up the no-hitter. Pitch from McTaggart. A strike. Maltos Garcia falls down in the count. No balls, 2 strikes. Runners at first and second, 2 out. McTaggart with a pitch. And Maltos Garcia pops the ball up to short center field. The second baseman goes out and squeezes the ball for the 3rd out in the inning. And I'll give you the inning recap just real quick. It'll be interesting to see exactly what happened here. So Brush scored 12 runs. They had 3 hits. There were 3 Lamar errors. There were 2 runners left on base. So after 3 complete innings of play, your Brush Beet Diggers 12, Lamar Savages 3. You're listening to 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Brush Beet Diggers explode for 12 runs in the bottom of the 3rd inning, and Carson Rule comes in to pitch for the Brush Beet Diggers. Nick Wellen to shortstop, Braxton Shelton to second base, and Alejandro Maltos Garcia goes to center field. First pitch from Carson Rule, a strike to Addison Morales. Pitch from Rule, a ball. It's good to be able to see a big crooked number up on the board for the Brush Beet Diggers, who've had a hard time being able to score runs here of late. Pitch from Rule, a ball, 2 balls and a strike to Morales, a strike. Carson Rule comes into the game with a 7.09 ERA, 2-2 record, 25 2/3 innings, 8 base on balls, 22 strikeouts. Pitch from Rule, hit 1 hopper to Wellen at short and over to first base, out. 6-3 on the ground out to Wellen. Carson Rule faces Dylan McTaggart. A ball. I think I've got all the changes. Pitch from Carson Rule to Hunter Ledgate, a ball. 2 balls, no strikes. Carson Rule generally around the plate, throws strikes. Down in the count, 2 balls, no strikes. A pitch to McTaggart, a strike. 2 balls and a strike. Pitch from Rule. Swung on, fouled off at the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. As Carson Rule comes into the game, this Brush pitching change is brought to you by State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, Greg Mullen and his team are there to make the insurance world easy for you. Call them at 842-4555. Pitch from Rule, outside to the left-handed hitting McTaggart. Full count. 1 out in the top of the 4th inning. Brush Beet Diggers with a 12-3 lead. Strikeout on the outside corner of the plate. McTaggart caught looking. Brings to the plate Jesus Gonzalez. Jesus struck out his first time up. Pitch from Carson Rule to the number 9 hitter in the lineup for Lamar upstairs, a ball. The second pitch, a strike, right down the middle. 1 ball, 1 strike to Gonzalez. Rule with a pitch. Ball inside. Gonzalez dipped his shoulder at the pitch. Pitch from Rule, ball. 3 balls and a strike to the number 9 hitter for the Lamar Savages. And Rule throws pitch number 5 in the at-bat, and it's a strike. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Pitch from Rule, outside. Ball 4. It's the last thing you want to do when you put up a big number is come and walk a batter in the next inning. Lamar has their work cut out for them if they're going to catch up with the Brush Beet Diggers. But to the top of the order, Carson Carrera comes up. Rule with a pitch, a ball. Wind, not really of any consequence at this time. Blowing from left field to right field, but not strong. Strike from Carson Rule to the batter, Carson Carrera. 1 ball, 1 strike. Runner at first. Rule with the pitch, and he goes over to first base. And Gonzalez back under the tag, safe. Rule, the sign, the offering, ball. Ball 3, pitch from Rule to Carson Carrere, down below the knees. Hunter Ledgate does a nice job of scooping it up. And Carson Carrere walks. So that's the last thing you want to do, is give up one base on ball, but to give up 2 base on balls. Carson Rule generally around the strike zone. Throw strikes for Brush. See if Brush can get a double play and get out of the inning. Strike from Rule to Max Carrere. Max Carrere has a single and struck out and grounded the ball to third base, and Ben Garrett goes over to the bag, steps on the bag for the third out. What was I doing talking double play? I was just excited to see some play. But Ben Garrett picks the ball up and steps on third base for the third out in the inning. And so for Lamar, they score no runs, no hits, no errors. There were 2 runners left on base. After 3.5 innings of play, Brush Beat Diggers 12, Lamar Savages 3. You're listening to Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Welcome back to Morley Field in Colorado Springs, where your Brush Beat Diggers have a 12-3 lead over the Lamar Savages. Coming up to bat for the Brush Beat Diggers in the bottom of the 4th inning is Bryson Wooldridge. Bryson Wooldridge grounded out and also walked his last at bat and scored. Line score is 12 runs for Brush, 3 hits, no errors. And for Lamar, 3 runs on 4 hits, 3 errors, and there's been 5 runners left. The umpires are talking. I think there's possibly been some lightning that's been seen in the area. The 2 umpires are going to talk and see what needs to be done at this point in time. I do know that if anything is within 10 miles,
about
6 miles, that at that point in time they can send everybody to the dugout, and we got a 30-minute break. So we're going to take a break here as the umpires they're going to ask for the lights to be put on. They're going to ask for the lights to be put on as it gets just enough dark. So no lightning delay. They're just going to turn the lights on as the skies turned a little bit grayer. McTaggart is playing catch with his third baseman. Wooldridge is standing at the plate talking to Jesus Gonzalez. And the umpires are just making sure that everything is going to be safe, as well as fair for both teams. The opportunity to be able to see the ball and perform well in the setting that is on the stage that we have here in Colorado Springs. As the winner moves on, the winner of this game will move on and face St. Mary's, who won their first game today 14-4 over the Academy. St. Mary's familiar position where they've won in playoffs and moved on to the state tournament in 2016. And so they took part of the double elimination Final 8 in 2016. Brush and St. Mary's, they do go back. It seems like every year or every other year they're facing one another. We're just waiting for the lights to be able to take effect before we end up getting going again. But in 2014, Brush ended up losing to St. Mary's in the first round of the playoffs up at Eaton. and then St. Mary's lost to Eaton, and Eaton moved on to the state tournament that year. In 2015, that was the year that Brush ended up moving on to the Final 8, and they made it to the final game. They beat Eaton. They knocked Eaton off from the unbeaten ranks and forced the second championship game, and Eaton beat Brush. So Brush was the runner-up in 2015. In 2016, Brush beat Buena Vista, and then they lost to Kent Denver. And in 2017, that was another time when St. Mary's and Brush joined forces. Brush beat St. Mary's in the first round of the playoffs, but then Brush lost to Peak to Peak. And then last year in 2018, Brush lost to Bennett at Bennett in the first round of the playoffs. And Brush faced the tough pitcher Cutter Smith, and there was anything that he could do wrong that day. And but then Bennett ended up losing to Lutheran. Lutheran moved on to the Final 8. We're just waiting for the lights to come on. There's a small glow that is in the lights at this time, but the umpires are just wanting to make sure that everything is even Steven for both teams. They have the opportunity in order to be able to perform safely without any issues or problems whatsoever. McTaggart continuing to play catch with his third baseman, Cameron Farmer. And umpires pulled his mask back on. McTaggart toes the rubber, and we go to the bottom half of the fourth inning, and Brush with a 12-3 lead over Lamar Savages. Wooldridge swings through the first pitch from McTaggart. No balls, one strike to Wooldridge. Pitch from McTaggart. A ball outside to Wooldridge. McTaggart, the offering, and Wooldridge hits the ball. One hopper to the second baseman, and second baseman gets it over to first. Carson Carrere gets it to Dylan McTaggart for the first out. Brings to the plate Ivan Cardenas. Ivan Cardenas walked and was hit by a pitch, and that was all in the bottom of the third inning. First pitch to Cardenas, a strike. Lights are starting to shine, and you can see that they're starting to take an effect on the field. Cardenas swings through the second offering from McTaggart. Cardenas down in the count, no balls, two strikes. Pitch from McTaggart upstairs, ball one. One ball, two strikes to the freshman, Cardenas. Cardenas faces McTaggart, and McTaggart is a freshman as well for Lamar. Pitch was in the dirt, ball, two balls, two strikes. McTaggart has thrown 27 pitches to this point. 17 strikes, 10 balls. And now we're going to go to the dugout as a lightning delay, I'm guessing. Is that right, Bill? Okay. So we're going to go to the dugouts here with a 2-ball, 2-strike count to Ivan Cardenas. Brush Beat Diggers lead Lamar Savages 12-3 after 3.5 innings. We're one out into the bottom of the fourth inning. We'll go to a lightning delay. It's going to be a minimum of 30 minutes, but let's do this. I'll give this, and then we can come back in a minute, and then we can go to an extended break shortly after this. So Brush Beat Diggers 12, Lamar Savages 3. You're listening to 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. 1 minute, we'll be back. We're back to Morley Field at St. Mary's High School in Colorado Springs, where your Brush Beat Diggers have a 12-3 lead over the Lamar Savages. We're coming out of a rain delay, lightning delay, and we're in the bottom of the fourth inning with one out. And Ivan Cardenas is at the plate with a 2-2 count. Tyler McTaggart. Dylan McTaggart's the first baseman. Tyler McTaggart is the pitcher that is on the mound. So here we go. Beautiful. Now that the rain has stopped, McTaggart with the pitch. Ball 3 to Ivan Cardenas. Full count. Pitch from McTaggart. Cardenas swings through the pitch. Strikeout swinging for out number 2 for the Brush Beat Diggers. Kyle Wellen comes to the plate. Kyle Wellen walked and also had a single. He scored both times that he's made an appearance at the plate. Thing is, after a little bit of rain, the dirt looks great. They had the mound covered, they had home plate covered, but anytime that ball is going to get on the grass, it's going to get wet and it's going to skip, and the players who pick it up and throw it, especially the infielders, they're going to have to get a good grip on it in order to get it over to the bag so that it doesn't slip out and up the line for an error. McTaggart with the pitch to Wellen, a ball. I do have scores updated in 3A. I'll cover those as I can. McTaggart with a pitch. Wellen hits a one-hopper past the shortstop Luis De La Torre for a single. So Kyle Wellen on at first base with 2 outs. Brings up the top of the order, Carson Rule. Carson Rule struck out, walked, and reached base on an error, and he scored twice. Wellen leads off from first. McTaggart, the lefty, he throws over to first base. McTaggart comes home. Wellen takes off to go to second, and Wellen steals second, and the ball skips into center field, and Wellen comes to third base. So Wellen with a stolen base. And advanced to third on the error by the catcher. Pitch to Carson Rule, a ball, and then another ball. Wellen leads off from third with 2 outs. Rule swings, hits a slow roller to shortstop, who throws over to first, and Rule is fast. He gets down the line good, and he's safe at first base with an infield single, and Wellen comes in and scores on the play. So that gets Brush to 13 runs. So Rule's on at first, brings to the plate Braxton Shelton. First pitch to Shelton, a ball. McTaggart peers in, looks. Rule takes off from second on the hit by Shelton past the third baseman, and Rule's on at second. Shelton's on at first with a single. That's Shelton's second base hit on the day. Brush is up to 6 hits, 13 runs on 6 hits at this point. Before, they scored a bunch of runs without having a base hit. As Max Carrere, the pitcher for Lamar Savages, ended up walking a number of hitters, and then there was a couple errors thrown in. So Brush ended up scoring 12 runs in the bottom of the third inning. Nick Wellen comes to the plate, hits a ball Mile high, center fielder comes in and squeezes the ball for the out in center field. So Wellen out, and that's the third out in the inning for Brush. They scored 1 run on 3 hits. There was 1 error of Lamar, and there's 2 runners left on base. So after 4 complete innings, Brush beat Diggers 13, Lamar Savages 3. You're listening to 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. To the top of the 5th inning we go with Brush beat Diggers leading the Lamar Savages 13-3. Brush gets 3 outs without Lamar scoring. Brush will have won the game via the 10-run rule after 5 innings, but we need to get the 3 outs. Carson Rule on the mound, 19 pitches, so he'll be going into the 5th inning facing the number 3 hitter, Cameron Farmer, and Rule with pitch number 20, and Farmer swings through the pitch for strike 1. Rule looks in, full windup, the pitch. Farmer hits the ball between shortstop and third base on the ground, probably about 6 hops between them and the ball. It gets out to left field. Left fielder is Caden Moriarty. He replaces Kyle Wellen. So Farmer gets the base hit to left field. And to the plate is number 4 hitter, Luis De La Torre. Farmer leads off from first. Pitch from Rule. Ball. Second pitch from Carson Rule, a ball in the dirt. Farmer has a good lead over at first with a left-hander on the mound. Farmer juking him, but De La Torre hits the ball up the middle over Carson Rule's head and into center field for a line drive base hit. So runners first and second, nobody out. To the plate comes Blake Buxton. Blake Buxton on the day has struck out and walked, officially 0 for 1. We're on the backside of a thunderstorm that came over us. There's some modest clouds hanging down from the backside of the storm system that's moved on. Runners at first and second. Rule with a pitch. Strike at the knees. Slight breeze from left field to right field. Runners at the first and second. Nobody out. Buxton, the hitter, sophomore for Lamar. Rule the pitch, and the ball, wild pitch, gets back to the screen, gets past Ludgate. Pitch from Rule, swung at and missed by Buxton. Ball on 2 strikes. Runners at second and third. Ball outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rule and Ludgate, the battery. Rule with a pitch inside. Full count. We need outs. Carson, outs, throw strikes. but we don't want to give up a run. Strike 3, looking. First out in the inning brings up Javier Gonzalez. Buxton has struck out twice. Javier Gonzalez comes to the plate, grounded out to second base and popped up to the shortstop. Gonzalez hits from the left side. The first pitch to Gonzalez, a pitch that is outside. Lefty on lefty. The pitch from Rule swung on, missed by Gonzalez. Brush is playing in, cut off the run. Might as well try to win it in 5, Coach Tom Odell says. Pitch, a strike on the outside corner of the plate. Beautiful weather now. They do have the lights on. Carson Rule with the pitch and fouled back to the screen by Javier Gonzalez. 5th pitch in the at-bat, Carson Rule, the offering. Struck him out, looking on the outside corner of the plate. 2 outs, Brush is 1 out away from being able to call this a victory. Pitch from Carson Rule to the plate, popped up to right field. Ivan Cardenas over to the line, squeezes the ball for the out. So that's going to be the ball game for your Brush Beat Diggers, beating Lamar Savages 13-3 for Lamar that inning. They did have 2 hits, but no runs. There were no Beat Digger errors. There were 2 runners left on base. We'll run through the line score, and then we'll take a break, and we'll come back, do a recap, and then we'll have a break before your Brush Beat Diggers play the St. Mary's Pirates, probably in about a half an hour before that game gets started. So for Brush, 13 runs, 6 hits, no errors. There were 5 runners left on base. For Lamar, 3 runs, 6 hits, 4 errors, and there were 7 Savages left on base. Game time, 2 hours and 24 minutes. There was a 30-minute rain delay, and your Brush Beat Diggers moved to 13-9 on the season, and we will take a short minute break. We'll come back with a recap, and then we'll go to an extended break before the next game. So your Brush Beat Diggers beat the Lamar Savages 13-3. You're listening to 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. You're back to Morley Field at St. Mary's High School in Colorado Springs, where your Brush Beat Diggers just beat the Lamar Savages 13-3. Brush ended up scoring 13 runs on 6 hits and no errors for the Brush Beat Diggers. Lamar, 3 runs on 6 hits. They had 4 errors, and they left 7 on base. Brush left 5 on base. The sponsor for postgame is brought to you by Mr. D's Ace Home Center, a proud supporter of all our area athletes. They'll serve you with all your home, farm, ranch supplies with 3 locations to serve you: Sterling, Brush, and Fort Morgan. The line score I gave you, Brush winning 13-3. The winning pitcher for the Beat Diggers is Nick Wellen. The losing pitcher for the Lamar Savages is Max Carrere. The time of the game was 2:24 with 30-minute rain delay in the middle. We've gone over most of the summary of scoring. Brush did score 12 runs in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Ivan Cardenas started off with a walk. Kyle Wellen walked. Carson Rule walked to load the bases. Braxton Shelton walked in a run. Then Nick Wellen walked. So there were 5 walks in a row. Ben Garrett struck out. Hunter Ledgate walked. 6 walks. RBI. Alejandro Maltos Garcia hit a sacrifice fly to center field for another RBI, and Bryson Woldridge walked. And Ivan Cardenas was hit by a pitch, his second at bat in the bottom of the third inning. And Kyle Wellen hit a single. Kyle Wellen singled and scored a couple runners that were ahead of him. Carson Rule gets on base via an error from the third baseman. And as he gets on base, another run comes in to score. Braxton Shelton hit an RBI single, and then Nick Wellen hit a single and then stole a base. And as he stole a base, he was at second. Ben Garrett had a base hit, and he knocked in Nick Wellen for the 12th run of that inning. Quick summary of basically how that happened. Hunter Ludgate ended up walking before Alejandro Maltos Garcia made an out with the second baseman. So Brush scored 12 runs that inning, and then the fourth inning, Kyle Wellen with 2 outs after the rain delay, he ends up getting a single to right field. Carson Rule hit a single to left field, and Braxton Shelton hit a single to left field, and that scored Kyle Wellen for the 13th run, and then Nick Wellen popped out to center field for the last out in the inning. So Brush came to bat 4 times in that game and took care of business with the Lamar Savages. Brush's record improves to 13-9, and Lamar's season ends, and their record is 9-13. We will have an upcoming game on this field, on this same station, in about 20 minutes. The Brush Beat Diggers and St. Mary's Pirates will put their time on the line in order to come up with a winner to be able to move on to the 3A state tournament, which will be held in Greeley beginning this next Friday. St. Mary's is 18-6 on the season, and Brush 13-9. Let's see. Scores. I've got scores from around the state in 3A. Number 1 seed University beat Middle Park 3-2, and Valley, the other side of the bracket, beat Faith Christian 1-0. So University and Valley will play for the right to move on. In Bennett, Bennett beat Bishop Matchabuff 4-2, and Colorado Academy beat Platte Valley 10-0. So Bennett and Colorado Academy will face to see who moves on to Greeley next week. Peak to Peak took care of business at home. They beat Estes Park 8-4, and Alamosa beat Florence 9-5. So Peak to Peak and Alamosa will play for the right to move on to Greeley. In Delta, Delta beat Cortez 9-4. And I did not have a final score yet for La Junta and Kent Denver. So Delta awaits the winner between La Junta and Kent Denver to see who they play for that right to move on. On the other side of the bracket, Eaton, the overall number 2 seed, they beat Trinidad 12-2, and Jefferson Academy beat Cedar Ridge 9-8. So Eaton and Jefferson Academy will square off. Bayfield beat Strasburg 12-4, and Resurrection Christian beat Pagosa Springs 11-0. So Bayfield and Res Christian will play and see who comes out the winner in that matchup. In Sterling, we have a huge upset where Manitou Springs beats the number 3 seed Sterling 10-8. Manitou Springs, a Tri-Peak League team, beating a Patriot League team, Sterling. I know Sterling had some rain and some hail last evening. I know they probably had to take care of the field. It was probably muddy because where I was in Sterling yesterday afternoon, it rained pretty hard. So I know they had some work ahead of them in order to get that field ready. And then we didn't have a winner between Lutheran and Buena Vista at this point in time just yet. So Manitou Springs awaits the winner between Lutheran and Buena Vista to see who moves on to Greeley. And here in Colorado Springs at St. Mary's High School, St. Mary's beat up on the Academy 14-4 in 6 innings, and Brush Brush beats Lamar 13-3 in 5 innings. So Brush and St. Mary's will meet shortly in order to have the winner move on to Greeley. And those 2 games, or the games that will be played in Greeley this next Friday and Saturday, will be held at Butch Butler Field, which is on 23rd Avenue and Reservoir Road, and also at University High School, which is in West Greeley out on 65th Avenue. So we've got those games that are upcoming. At this point in time, I will give you the final score. We'll take about a 20-minute break and see where that takes us before we end up coming back with lineups for the Brush Beet Diggers and St. Mary's Pirates game coming up. So, final score is Brush Beet Diggers 13, Lamar Savages 3. The sound engineer and producer of Brush Beet Digger Baseball is Harry Curtis. I'm Kevin Fergus with the final score 13-3. You've been listening to Brush Beet Diggers Baseball on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.